welcome back to The Mess of Jess. Today I wanted to talk to you about a few things that you might want this year for your classroom. These aren't a need, but I will say that they have made my life a heck of a lot easier. So let's get into it. The first one is probably one that you've seen me using quite a bit, and that is my magnetic staple remover. Now, this thing is a gift from my secretary, but you can find it at places like Amazon, Staples, Office Depot, any of those places. It has a little tong at the top that you actually can get under the staple and push it out, and then this part right here happens to be magnetic, so it holds your staples in there. I'm not going to say that it holds all of the staples. I have had ones fall out, but I think it catches the majority of them, which is great if you are dealing with younger kids or kids who might have a problem with putting things in their mouth that they probably shouldn't. Or if you have kids that like shiny things and they find staples on the floor and they're like, ooh, magpie. So the first one, magnetic staple remover. The second thing you might want for your classroom this year is this. And you might see this in your kitchen, but you can also find this in my classroom. And this is for opening really stubborn jars or containers. If you have dried glaze, dried paint, glue, etc., this thing has saved my hand more times than I can count. All you have to do, put it on top, twist, and open. I know, it's ingenious, right? But since I do have some developing carpal tunnel, having things that make my grip a little bit stronger really help me, especially if I don't have any kids around that I can pawn off and be like, all right, so who wants to open the jar? So getting yourself a little squeezing jar opener. I got mine from IKEA for 99 cents. I don't know if that price has gone up or not, but you can find it at any kind of home goods store or Target, Walmart, etc. These things they're all over. The third thing that I am really loving having this year, especially as I am in a returning school, but even if I'm not, if I was in a new school, this would be one of my favorite things, and that is a stamper. This is a book stamper. I ordered this off of Etsy because I wanted it to be personalized. I think it cost me $15 or so, which is a little steep, so, you know, maybe this isn't something for you, but as I'm going through and doing my classroom library, a lot of things get lost, they get mixed up, or they get destroyed. I mean, books go over time, and I love that they are being used and that they have those signs of love, but it can get really messy trying to figure out which books are mine and which ones are the school's. So I have this little stamper right here. It says, from the classroom of Miss Jess, fine arts teacher. And that way, if I was teaching a different grade level, whether that's elementary, middle school, high school, etc., everyone knows, I mean, I'm the fine arts teacher, so it's going to come from my room. Really easy. I've had this for 2 years now, I think, and the ink is still just as good as I got it. Plenty of these you can find on Etsy, but I'm sure that you can also look in your local. Well, actually, you could probably just create a stamp yourself. Probably just create a stamp yourself by using little stampers with the alphabet and just putting your name in there, or putting art, anything like that. The fourth thing I want to talk about is something that I also want to put a little asterisk next to and say, if you have this, make sure that you put it in a safe space, because we don't want anyone getting hurt unnecessarily or having to call poison control. But something that I really like and has saved my teammates a lot, and that is a meds wheel. Now I put a little bit of everything in there because who knows what kind of issue I'm having that day. I could be having menstrual cramps, I could be having a migraine, I could be having really bad allergies, who knows. So I have taken this med wheel and I've labeled it. I picked this up from the Dollar Tree, and I just put some of my medications that I have at home, and I can put it in my emergency bin or inside of my personals bin, which has things such as a hairbrush, an extra toothbrush, toothpaste, some hair ties, my EpiPen, all of those things, very important. And it's kind of like an emergency go bag, so that if you had to really quickly come to school, oh no, I overslept, you have this emergency bag that you can take care of yourself very quickly, and you don't have to worry about trying to do it in the time it takes for you to get from your house to the school. The last thing I want to talk about, and this one might not pertain to you right away, it also might not pertain to you because of your classroom, but I think everyone agrees there's a certain time in the year kids start to get a little stinky. Yes, we all know. Mine, I find, tends to be right around February or March, right when it's starting to get a little warm, but not really, and for some reason everyone hits puberty. So if you are somebody who cannot have a wax warmer, you cannot have Glade plugins because maybe you have outlets like mine that are turned on their side, or maybe it is not allowed by your district, I have found that using these instead works very well. You can use things such as air fresheners, and I don't mean the aerosol sprays, I mean the Renuzits or the scent beads. I like the Renuzits because you can open it just a little bit at a time so that it lets out a little bit more or a little bit less, and it tends to last a little bit longer. I just put these on a higher shelf or hidden throughout my classroom to help disperse the smell, and I haven't had a problem with them being too overpowering or had kids complain that the smell was too strong. I find that it just kind of helps to neutralize the space. Which I think that's all we're really hoping for at this point, isn't it? Now I want to give some honorable mentions because there are a few things that I use that are a little bit more pricey and might not be ready for you when you're starting out and you're just trying to get by. You are just trying to figure out how to get things up on the board. You're trying to figure out your lessons. So I wouldn't say that these are a necessity, but I do want to say that they have made my life easier. The first one is my rolling cart. Now I bought this at Aldi, oh my goodness, probably like 6 years ago. And I got it for $50, but I have found that you can also purchase these at Target, Walmart, any kind of outdoor store. The best time to buy them is honestly at the end of summer because that's when a lot of the stores are trying to get rid of their summer activities. And these carts tend to be ones that, take you to the beach, put your kids in it, etc. But it is so much easier not having to take 26 trips to my car when I can just put everything inside of my cart, wheel it into the school, bring it in, and I can unload it as I need to. I can save my back, I can save my feet, and if it's raining, it just means I have to go outside once, not all those other times. So get yourself a rolling cart if that is something that you are able to do, or if you have family members that are asking, what would you really like for your classroom? I would say that is a really, really good investment. Another special shout out, and this is, again, an honorable mention, you don't need to do this. I would look into doing some kind of wholesale membership card. And look at doing these at the beginning of the school year, not in the middle and not in the end, because that is when special promotions happen. Teachers especially can get special discounts on these membership fees. But I use it not because I want to buy a whole bunch of school supplies. I use it for me because I have a Costco membership. There isn't a Sam's Club by me, and so I hopped on the Costco bandwagon. And it is so nice to go into their prepared foods where they have their sandwiches or their wraps. I can get one container of that for, let's say, $15 on the high end, and it has 4 lunches ready and prepared for me. So that means 4 meals I don't need to meal prep. I can automatically put it in my lunch bag and I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to get all the supplies. I don't have to make a mess in my kitchen. And honestly, I don't have to take the time because who has time, especially during the school year when you're trying to lesson plan, grade, make visuals, get together your art supplies, get together your art club or your art show. Who has time for all this extra stuff? And Lord help you if you've got a family on top of it. So I use this as a way to help me save money and not get things like DoorDash, Uber Eats, picking up food on the way home. I can just open it, grab it, ta-da, I have, and here we go. If you're someone like me who also gets food bored, I tend to pick like 2 or 3 things to take home, and that's my foods for the week, and I can mix and match that way and I don't have to worry too much. I also do some of my emergency foods, such as the Easy Mac cups, granola bars, fruit snacks, etc., and I do purchase those as well. Not only that, but I get a nice teacher discount when I'm renewing my membership, which we always like. I would say do some price comparisons. Places like Sam's Club and Costco will allow you to go in, wander around, just look and see what it is that you are interested in, and you can do some price comparisons that way. And in the age of the internet, you can also look online, just download both of the apps, and you can look through and see which one might work best for you, your family, or your classroom. The last thing I want to give a really good honorable mention to is having a good planner. Now, I've tried many different types of planners, and I'm going to get into that in a different video, but whether you are using a bullet journal or you are using a ring folded, a happy planner, an Erin Condren, whatever is going to work for you, make sure you start using it and make it a habit to use it. If that means at the end of each day for the last 5 minutes, you go through and make a list of the things you need to do tomorrow, check off the things you did today, whatever it is, make sure that you are just taking that little bit of time to do it, because future you will love you for it. I use my planner to look back on when I'm making my next year's lessons and say, how long did it take me to do this? What were some obstacles I encountered? Oh, that's right. This grade tends to take a field trip this time of the year. Maybe I should double check and see if they're doing it again this year. Save yourself that way. So, I have my planner. We're going to see how this one does this year. I am so far so good. I'm really enjoying this new layout, and if you are interested in hearing about my planner opinions, go ahead and click on that video. Thanks for coming by. I hope that this helps you kind of think of some out-of-the-box things you might not have seen on other teachers' YouTubes or Instagrams or TikToks or whatever, and things that you might want to invest in for this classroom, or if you want to look at asking for them if you have an Amazon page or a GoFundMe or Donors Choose, or who knows what. There's so many options now, isn't there? Or if you really have a really nice secretary. I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you again soon.